Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In today's video, as you guys know, it's going to be my very first Chun guide. This is season 2. I didn't really play the game season 1. I played like the end of season 1. In season 2, I'm really learning this character more. I've picked up a lot season 2 with this character. I've had a lot of light bulbs just going off in my head like, oh, here I should do this. Oh, here I should do this. And me taking my time to learn this character while simultaneously learning the game, I feel like this character has a learning curve to her. I think if you play like a Kuma and you're trying to learn Chun, I think you're gonna have a hard time. If you're coming from like Bison and you're trying to learn Chun, I don't think you'll have as much of a hard time as like an Akuma player, but I'm not shaming Akuma players, but at the same time I'm shaming Akuma players. Anyway, Chun definitely has her own little playstyle. She's very fun. I will give her that. She's a very fun character to play. Very neutral based. That's why I say certain characters is going to take a little bit of an adjustment, because Akuma, like, you're neutral, fireball, 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 air fireball. You also got teleport, neutral skip, and then every Akuma that you play just throws out heavy kick for some reason, and you can crouch under the second kick. I don't know why that's Akuma neutral, but that's Akuma neutral in like lower levels. Obviously a higher level Akuma, it's not like that. Chun is a very, you gotta play neutral, and that's something that I've struggled with early on, because I'm watching high level players, right? I'm watching these streams, I'm watching these VODs, I'm watching these YouTube videos of high level players, and I'm realizing, right, this is back when I was like silver, gold. I was really trying to like get into it and learn the game. Most of the low level players, even up until now, right, I'm diamond 4, still got a lot to learn, obviously, because I'm not a master, but majority of the people watching this video, if you want to learn a new character, you're gonna have to rank somewhere, right? And you're not gonna pick it up day one, be a diamond. So maybe I can help you out a little bit. Most of your playing time with this character is going to be straight reactions, low level. But just to give you a little bit of background of like who I've learned from, how I model my playstyle after a lot of the people like streaming, right? We have Demon EX. He's a really good Chun. Apparently he was a very good Street Fighter 5 Chun. I didn't play Street Fighter 5 like that, so I don't know anyone from Street Fighter 5 really, but I do know Moke played Street Fighter 5. I do know that for a fact. Moke is another player that I haven't dissected, but I've watched a good number of his matches. That's why I've learned some of my tech, especially stance cancel tech. He really changes his playstyle, his game plan, I guess. There was like one match I was watching versus a sim, and he was stance cancel pressure strings all the time, right? Played a little bit more aggressive. He played actually very aggressive versus that sim. Other matches, you know, he plays a little bit more laid back, very more neutral based. She has a lot of different playstyles. I also ran sets with Zach Boz. Literally got kicked and tossed. It was a very eye-opening experience. Just another way that I can see the character can be played. I don't remember how many games we played. I think it was 5. You're probably seeing it right now on the screen. I got absolutely tossed, and the only round that I got was a perfect. So I picked up something. Obviously, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a master, but I'm learning. Shine too. Shine also has a very good Chun. Some might say that Shine is the very best Chun in NA. Only thing is he doesn't really play Chun that much. He's primarily a Kim main at this point, but he has an Ed as well. So if you try to go into the streams and see some Chun, you might not see that much Chun. Back when I was first learning, I would watch a lot of the VODs back when he would play a lot of Chun, so I would try to learn off of that. Get some string. Another Chun main too that I would watch a lot of was CPU level 5. I know CPU level 5 was a modern, but look, I didn't know modern, the difference between classic and modern, other than you can react a lot easier with an anti-air. It's like one button or 2 buttons to do your anti-air. That's all I knew about modern. So I was watching a lot of CPU level 5, trying to replicate some of the modern combos on classic, because he was doing some cool stuff that I didn't really see classic players do. So I was like, oh, if I could replicate this on classic, I thought it would be pretty cool. Another person I would fight a lot, especially in the battle hub, was Chun-Li forever, and you are the reason that I'm able to make this video. Thank you for all the sets that you play with me. We probably played like 30-40 sets by now, and just watching that Chun whoop me and being able to take apart the VOD, learn where I'm losing, learn what an optimal combo looks like versus 1-2 cancel versus 1-2 dump your drive gauge. It's very helpful. So thank you for the sets. I appreciate it. So that being said, I know I talked a little bit, but I only say that just to tell you that this character does have a learning curve. Okay, I learned a lot about this character. I'm gonna try to give you a guide as best as I can on how you should play the character, or in certain scenarios what do you get off the character, because I know I was searching a lot of YouTube videos. I made a super long playlist of just like tech, and I was trying to really, like I said, learn the game while at the same time learning the character. But Chun is a fun character to play. So let's get into it. Chun is technical. I mean technical as in execution. At first, you might be seeing people do these crazy strings, and you're trying to replicate those strings, and you're like, man, this string feels impossible to do. It's not that it's impossible, it's just new to you, right? You gotta develop the connections in your brain to tell your fingers the motions and the timing that you gotta do. So nothing's impossible. If you see it done, it can be done in neutral, right? If you're a new player and you don't know what neutral is, you're not gonna see neutral that much. And the reason why you're not gonna see neutral that much is because most low level players just want to get in, get button, spam button, right? They don't really know what they're doing. But the higher up you go, you're gonna see both players just standing on the stage, right? Wiggling back and forth. What they're doing is trying to step in and out of range of buttons. One, so they can bait their opponent to whiff a button, and then you get the whiff punish into combo. Or if your opponent steps into range and they just so happen to not be blocking, and you throw out your button, you can land a button into combo. Okay, that's pretty much neutral, footsies, whatever you want to call it. You'll hear it. If you watch a lot of high level play, you'll see it, where they're just wiggling back and forth. No one's pressing a button. So most of the time when you're playing neutral, the buttons that you're going to throw out is stand light punch, right? It's a jab, 4-frame startup, fast startup. You can clip your opponent with this button. Another good button to have is forward medium punch. Another really good button. You can also do back medium punch. Okay, it's the same move, but you can either input it forward or back. Reason why is, let's say you're holding back already, charging fireball, you can throw out back medium punch and then immediately combo into fireball. That's another string. If you're a little bit farther range, you can throw out stand heavy punch. Now apparently this button was not a button in season 1, but this season it's a good button. Stand heavy punch is a good button. It's only -3 on block and it's +2 on hit, so that means it's safe. Okay, whenever you hear someone talking about -3 and -4 and -2, buttons that are -3 are all safe. The reason why they're safe is because you can throw them out. Let's say your opponent throws out the button frame 1, you'll be safe. You'll be able to block in time. If you want to learn a little bit more about frame data, I have a video on it already, so be sure to check out that video. I'll link it. Another button you can use in neutral is crouch medium kick, the low forward. This is a very good button. So after you do these buttons in neutral, if you want to expand off of that a little bit, you could do stand heavy kick, which is a long range button. It's a pretty safe button to throw out. Also forward heavy kick, a very good punish counter button. So if you can land forward heavy kick, that's a good button to have in your neutral game as well. Almost all these buttons combo into something. Okay, that's a good thing about Chun. Every single button can combo into something, quite literally, except for crouching heavy kick, it's knocked down. But everything else can pretty much combo into something. So learning all these routes that you can take off of every button, it's gonna take some time to learn, but it's easy, right? It's just a game. You'll learn it easily. Everyone does it. So the first thing with Chun, I know I gave you a little bit of tech just now, but this is like the first real nitty gritty. If you're trying to learn Chun, you have to learn Serenity stream, also known as stance, quarter circle back punch. You're going to want to practice this a lot, especially in the beginning. When I was first learning this character, I was dropping my stance combos all the time, especially off of back heavy punch. I would drop that combo all the time. It's because I wasn't accustomed to doing that combo, so I was partially trying to make up excuses like, oh, it's just hard, ring finger, middle finger, they're connected by the same tendon, blah blah blah. I heard it in Strider's stream back when he used to play Marissa, so I didn't want to use it as an excuse, but I did hear him say it, so like it stuck with me that he said that. But I got it, and I can do the combo now, and I can do it reliably, and I rarely drop the combo anymore. I just took out the time, really practice it, especially on player 1 side, because you have to do middle finger, ring finger for the stance cancel. So it is doable. Anything that you see is doable, you just need to practice it, and probably watch it a couple times. These stance combos are literally bread and butter, so you need to learn the stance input. That's literally the only reason to use stance other than for Oki, because you can use it for Oki, but that'll be a separate video I'll make for Chun Oki, because this one's gonna be kind of long. I remember practicing stance. I would just sit there in the training room, do it 50 to 100 times. So if that's something that might help you, try that. And then the next step off of that is actually practicing like one Serenity Stream combo. There's a lot of BMBs, but one combo that uses that motion and practice it. Get good at doing the motion with all 3 punches as well. Light, medium, heavy. It might seem hard at first, but with time and practice, it'll be basically subconscious. Okay, next up we have strings. Chun has a lot of combos, especially drive rush cancel combos. And this is where you can kind of go wrong because it's so easy to drive rush cancel the combo that you'll get burned out, right? A drive rush cancel is 3 bars. So if you do 2 combos and you drive rush cancel both those combos, you're going to get burnt out. Then you're going to be Noah playing burnt out. This was a problem that I had early on because this is what I would do. I didn't understand how burnout worked because most players in lower ranks don't take advantage of burnout. Some will even play more aggressively while they're in burnout, but the higher up you go, you understand burnout is a problem because suddenly buttons that your opponent throws out are now plus instead of being minus. So you can't press or you're going to get frame trapped and then you're going to die. So be careful and think about when you're going to cancel a combo versus just ending on a certain combo. So that being said, strings. And the reason why I'm showing you these strings is because I struggled with figuring out what to do. And I know that sounds very vague, but playing your opponent and seeing your opponent throw out like 5 buttons, just hitting you while you're blocked, and then you just throwing out 1 button, it's like, well, my opponent is overwhelming me with all these buttons. What am I supposed to do while I'm sitting here blocking? So that's primarily what these strings are for. Your strings primarily go button, stance cancel, button, and if your opponent does not press or anything, you're going to end on heavy fireball. You want to end on heavy fireball because it's at least minus. It's still minus, so if you're too close to your opponent and they react fast enough, you could get punish counter jabs, but most of the time they're not going to press immediately after you throw your fireball. If you're stuck in stance and you press a button, you have to be sure to charge a fireball, you just tap it. When you're in stance, you don't have to charge anything. You just press the input, that's it. So fireball, instead of holding back, you can just tap it while you're in Serenity Stream, and that'll basically give you the charge. Same thing with spinning bird. All you have to do is tap down anywhere in Serenity Stream while you're already, could be while your move is coming out, you just tap it and it'll already give you the charge. All of your pressure strings, when you're ending on heavy fireball, you want to make sure to press it so you can get that charge.